Hi friends, let us know about what are the conditions for an individual to take his position under qualified widow or widower. See, every status that an individual wants to put up while he is filing the return of income in a tax year, for a tax year, definitely certain conditions are to be satisfied. The only place where they should not, or the individual may not be satisfying any of the condition, will fall under single. For MFS, MFG and HOH, we have just seen the conditions. In the case of widower or widow, qualified widow, there are 5 conditions that are to be satisfied. All the 5 conditions are to be satisfied. So, point number 1, so the person in the year of death, in the year of death of the deceased person, that is in the year of death of the spouse, compulsorily he will come under MFJ, correct? So, in the year of death of the spouse, his status will automatically by default will come under MFJ, provided there is one more condition that we have that is coming up here, that is surviving individual did not remarry during 2 years after the death of the spouse. See, let us understand that in the year 2019, the spouse passed away. So, he remained single in the year 2020 and in the year 2021. So, for this particular period, he will come under MFJ, right? 2 years not married again. Not married again. So, what is his status? His status for 2020 is going to be qualified widower or widow, qualified widow or widower, and in the year 2022 or 2023, as the case may be, he will not come under qualified widow or widower. He will not come. So, the status is restricted only for 2 years. So, for 2 years period, he should not have married at all. That is very, very important. That is the second condition that we have. Third one is that all conditions are to be satisfied. That is very, very important. So, he has a qualifying child. Who is a qualifying child? We will have a separate discussion. So, number 1, in the year of death, MFJ, and post death for 2 years period, he should not have married at all. That is, he should not have remarried at all. And then the qualifying child had lived for the full year. The qualified child should have lived for the full year. Of course, a child may be attending to the school or would have just gone for some summer vacation or would have just visited some relatives. So, those temporary absences are to be excluded. So, you cannot say that the child did not live for all 365 days and you cannot disqualify. So, please just understand, temporary absences may be considered, which are considered to be reasonable, shall be ignored. Then what is that next one? More than 50% of the household expenses are met by the taxpayer. So, how do we identify a qualified widower or widow? Number one, in the year of death of the other spouse, the surviving person will file under MFJ category. For the next 2 years, he will be filing under qualified widow or widower depending upon the gender of the person, and then he should be having a qualifying child. Then that qualifying child should live with the taxpayer for the entire year. Temporary absences are to be excluded. And lastly, more than 50% of the household expenses are met by the taxpayer. If all the 5 conditions are satisfied, then the person will automatically come under qualified widow or widower as the case may be. So, let me repeat, there are 5 conditions. Number 1, in the year of death, he has got to compulsorily try under MFG, and for the next 2 years, he is not expected to get married. He should be having a qualifying child, and qualifying child should be living with him for the full year. Temporary absences are to be ignored. More than 50% of the household expenses are met by the taxpayer. If all the 5 conditions are satisfied, then his status will automatically be that of qualified widower. If the person were to be a female, then her status would be qualified widow. Thank you.